Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nessa Jane and today we are going over the bronzer and the eyeshadow palette from the Bronze Goals collection by Morphe. So when I saw them release this collection, I got super excited. I wanted to really test out the bronzer, like this was definitely #1 on my list, but I was really gravitated towards the palette because the palette looks way different than any of their other collections before. So, I mean, it says bronze goals for a reason. There's a lot of bronze in this and a lot of summer vibes going on within this palette. And so I just wanted to test out this palette and give you guys my full review. But before we hop into the video, if you ended up liking this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and also hit the bell to get notified of all of my future videos. And without further ado, let's just jump on into this tutorial using the Morphe Glamour Bronze and the 35G Bronze Goal palette. All right, you guys, so we are going to first jump into talking about the Morphe Bronze collection by first trying out their Glamour Bronze. It's called Wham Bam Bronze Out Glam. And so I was really excited that they released this guy because it is such a big bronzer. It's a lot like the Marc Jacobs. That's what a lot of people are saying. So I wanted to give this one a go. They only came out with, I do believe, 2 shades. I got the shade Icon because it's for a lot lighter skin tone like I have, but I know that there's another one for deeper, like medium to deep skin tones, but this one is from like light to fair. So we're gonna jump into Icon here and apply this first, and then after that we're going to talk about the eyeshadow. I will say there's a lot of fallout with this bronzer. So so this is what the bronzer looks like applied on my face. I have to say that it's definitely very warm, which is what you want during the spring and summer months. It is pigmented. See, as you can tell on my chin area, it is pigmented. There's a little bit of fallout initially when I first started, but after that I really didn't have a lot of problems. It just functioned as a regular bronzer. So I wonder if these are those types that you have to like kick off the first layer before getting into the goods, you know? So that's kind of how I feel about it. How much product you get for $19. I do think that it is a beautiful bronzer, and it was really easy to apply. So overall, I do like this guy and I can't wait to play around with it more. Plus their packaging is awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything ready for doing the eyes, and then I will be back and we are going to do an eyeshadow look using the Glam Bronze eyeshadow palette. All right, you guys, I am back and now we are going to play around with the 35G Bronze Goals. Now this one has 35 total shades in it. And this is what the packaging looks like here. And then on the inside, you have a whole bunch of beautiful golds and oranges and just bronze colors in general. And then of course they come with the slip that has their shade names. I'm going to try to follow this along just so I can tell you guys what shade names I am using. As you can tell, there are not a lot of mattes within this palette. There are a lot more shimmers in this palette than there are mattes, which I kind of really like when brands do this, because this is totally something that you can use all summer or fall or whatever long, because you have all of these shimmers to play around with. Like, it's so much easier to just grab a transition shade, grab the shade that you want, put it on your lid, and then there you go. And that's what this palette is perfect for summer looks. But you can also do your bold looks as well, because they do have a whole bunch of bold colors in this palette too. So the first shade that we are jumping into is going to be this shade right here called Sandy. It is the perfect transition shade. They have a couple good transition shades in this palette. There's this one here called Sandy, and then the other one is called Deserted, which is this brown shade there. But we're gonna jump into Sandy. And we are going to use this other transition, and we are going to apply this in the crease shade, using back and forth windshield wiper motions. All right, you guys, so once we have Sandy applied, we are going to go into this matte shade here to deepen up the crease, and that is called Naked, and it's spelled N-E-K-K-E-D, so it's not fully naked, but it's naked. At least that's how I interpret it. And we are just gonna use that same BH Cosmetics brush that I used to apply Sandy, and this is just to deepen up the crease. So I'm just going to focus that right underneath that transition shade. All right, you guys, we are going to have some fun now. I really wanted to play around with the shimmers in this palette, so we're gonna kind of do like an ombre effect. We're gonna start out with the darkest here and go in with the lighter. So we are first going to jump into the shade 101 Degrees, and it is this beautiful kind of mustard dark brown shade right here, and I'm going to be applying that to the outer corner. I'm going to see how this first applies without any spray on it, and if I need a better payoff, I will spray my brush. So we're just going to focus that right on the outer corner. All right, you guys, so here we have 101 Degrees applied. I have a ton of fallout from that shade, so I'm going to dust that away, but that shade does have a ton of fallout. I don't know if it would have applied better. I mean, on camera, I don't really know if you can see the shimmer that is coming off of this shade. To me, it's there, and I didn't feel like I needed to wet my brush, but you totally could. So the next shade that we are going to be applying, because it is calling my name, is this beautiful orange shade right there in the middle, and that one is called Summer Vibe. I am going to wet my brush on this shade, and I'm just taking a BH Cosmetics number 7 brush, and I'm going to take some of this ColourPop spray, and I'm going to wet my brush with it. Then I'm going to dip right into that shade. Okay, we are just going to apply this on the center of the lid. All right, you guys, there we have Summer Vibes applied. As you can tell, super fun, bright orange shade, and I am loving it. Again, I did experience some fallout from that shade, even though I wet down my brush, so I'm just going to brush that away. And now for the inner third of the eye, we're gonna hop into this beautiful bright yellow shade right there for the inner third. Again, I'm going to wet a brush, and this one's going to be a lot smaller. I'm going to wet this guy with the all-nighter. And we are going to apply that on the inner third. All right, you guys, so there is Soul applied. I love the yellow. This is screaming spring / summer, mainly summer, but either way, I am totally loving it. So we are going to finish off with doing the lower lash line. Of course, I'm going to be taking a BH Cosmetics number 10 brush, and we are going to be jumping in to that original transition shade called Sandy. And we are going to use this pencil brush to just run that shade and match it up to that corner there. And next I'm jumping into this smaller Luxie brush, and I am going to dip back in to that deeper shade that we used, just dipping into Naked, and we are going to apply that on the outer portion of the lower lash line, just like so. All right, and then last but not least, I do want to pop a little bit something into my inner corner. So we are going to jump in with the brightest shade in here, and it is called Glare, and it's actually, I'm going to go in with this shade called Glow On. It's kind of like a bright gold shade, but it's not as bright as the yellow. It's just that one right there. I'm going to pop that into the inner corner. I'm not wetting my brush or anything. I just want a loose little something there. All right, you guys, so that is a completed eye look for when it comes to the eyeshadow palette. I am going to go ahead and do eyeliner, mascara, and lashes, and lips, and all of that good stuff off of camera, and I will be right back to tell you my final thoughts. All right, you guys, so here is the final look using the 35G Bronze Goals palette by Morphe. My first impressions on this palette is that I really do love the mattes. The mattes were super easy to blend. The one thing with the shimmers, Morphe has such a different formula when it comes to shimmers, I feel like, because whenever I went in there without a wet brush, the pigment payoff wasn't, you know, like va-va-voom, and even just touching them, they feel super pressed into the pans. Of course, if you have something like this already in your collection, like off the top of my head, I can think of kind of like the Tarte Toasted, or just a few other palettes out there too. You know, you definitely don't have to go out and spend the money on this, and I will have all the prices linked down below. But overall, it's a great palette. It created such a fantastic look, and I do enjoy it. The last thing that I'd like to touch base on is, of course, their Glamour Bronze and Icon. I really do love this bronzer. It's pigmented. It is definitely for the summer months. I don't know if you know, but like there's like the winter months, which are the boring bronzers that look natural on the skin, and then there's these super fun ones that you can wear on the skin as well during the summer months, and it just warms up the face, and that is exactly what this bronzer did. I really enjoy this bronzer. I love the fact that it has a mirror. I relied on this mirror a lot today, and it might be $19, but it's a lot cheaper than the Marc Jacob ones that these are comparable to. So that concludes today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed the review of the Morphe Bronze Goals collection. Ended up liking this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Also, hit the bell to get notified of all of my future videos. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye!